Hello everybody, my name is Beth and I am one of the practitioners here at Valley Steps. This is a short video to give you some of my top tips of managing your well-being while working from home. So at Valley Steps, we've all been working from home now since March, since the start of the first lockdown or the kind of the week before that first lockdown. So we've all had plenty of practice in managing our well-being working from home. And there's quite a few tips that I'd like to share with you today to try and help you as much as possible if you are still in the same position as us and you're still working from home during this pandemic. So let's get started. Okay, so the first tip that I've got sounds really simple, but actually is a habit that a lot of us can start to fall into. Try and get up and get dressed before you start work. I know it's really tempting to grab the laptop and stay in bed for an extra hour and just do your emails from the bed, but try and get up at the same time as you normally would for work. Get dressed the same way that you normally would. Do your normal morning routine for work. It can often help to just kind of psychologically set you up for the day a little bit and give you that kind of differentiation between your home life and your work life. Some people will also use their commuting time for other things. So for example, they might go for a walk, they might do some relaxation or maybe practice some meditation. So say if you've got a half an hour commute, some people might use that to practice some of those kind of self-care or well-being activities in the morning. So try and keep waking up at the same time. Get up, get out of bed, get dressed, do something that's going to help your well-being for the day, and then log on for work. Try not to start working from bed in the morning. The second tip that I've got kind of follows on from the last one, and that is to try and get dressed for work. I know it's extremely tempting to stay in the joggers or the pajamas all day, and I've definitely been guilty of that a few times over the past few months. But sometimes wearing our work clothes kind of changes our mindset. It puts us into that work mindset, and again helps us to maybe separate that home life and that work life a little bit more. I also personally find it quite nice then at the end of the day when I finished work to get changed back into my home clothes. And so again, it's transitioning out of that work phase and into that home phase at the end of the day. Okay, so the third tip we've got is to try not to work from your bedroom. I know this might not be possible for everybody depending on your kind of home layout, whether there's other people at home during the day, the kind of space you have, but wherever possible, try and avoid this. That's because if you're constantly working from your bedroom, your brain is going to start to associate that room with work. And obviously that means it's not associating that room with sleep. And a lot of people find when they start working from the bedroom more and more frequently, they find it harder to sleep at night because their brain is kind of wired to work in that room rather than sleep in it. So wherever you can, try and keep that bedroom just for sleep. Try and work somewhere else in your house. In terms of where you should work, it all depends on the space and what you have available. We actually had a conversation about this the other day when we were on one of our kind of Zoom meetings. I was saying I like to rotate rooms. I like to move around the house so that there's no room that becomes the office. For me, that helps. So it means that my house still feels like my house and it's not just my office because I'm constantly getting that change in environment. Other people were saying that they actually prefer to keep one space as the office space and then the rest of the house is free for their kind of home life. However it kind of works for you, but try and keep out of the bedroom as much as you can. The fourth tip that we've got for today is to make sure that you are taking regular breaks. What you might be finding working from home is that you're not getting the same natural breaks in the day that you'd often get if you were actually in work, particularly in a kind of office setting. So often when we're in work, we will take natural breaks in the day where maybe we go make a cup of tea, maybe we have a quick chat with one of our colleagues about our weekend plans. We have these natural pauses in the day. When we're working from home, we can often fall into the trap of thinking that we have to be online all the time. We have to be available all the time. And that if we are away from that screen at any point in that 8 hours, we're not doing enough or we're not working hard enough. try and take those breaks like you would normally have in work. So get up, make yourself a cup of tea, make sure you're taking breaks away from the screen to rest your eyes, and also make sure you're taking a full lunch break every day. And you might find it helpful to log off the computer for that period of time, maybe go for a walk, do something else. So again, you're separating that home life balance as much as you can, and you're making sure that you're taking the breaks that you need throughout the day. Okay, the fifth tip I'd like to share with you is to try and maintain social contact with your colleagues. In an office setting, again, you probably spend a lot of time chatting with your colleagues, and some of that will be about work, but some of it will be about other stuff, you know, your weekend plans, what's going on in your life, you know, what you saw in the news, TV shows you've been watching. You just have these natural kind of social conversations. And working from home, we might be missing a lot of that. It can become quite easy for all those Zoom meetings to just be about work, and there's never any of that kind of normal social contact. So try and do that as much as you can. Maybe you video chat with a colleague over lunch, making sure that you're not talking about anything work related, but you know, you're talking about, you know, just general chit chat. Maybe you drop one of your colleagues an email with a funny joke you heard recently. You know, maybe you mention to your team a TV show you've been binge watching. You know, try and keep that kind of normal social contact as much as you can with each other. It often really helps to kind of manage the stress of the situation as well. And the final tip that we have for you today is to make sure that at the end of the day, you log off. So at the end of your working day, make sure you shut that computer down and you stop working. It can sometimes be tempting to work later or to log on during the evening just to check on things, but try and maintain that work-life balance as much as you can. Now, sometimes it's not the physical end of work that people find difficult, but the ability to mentally switch off at the end of the day, particularly when we're working from home. It does get to the stage where your office and your home are the same place, and actually mentally leaving work behind at the end of the day might be quite difficult. So try and have things to do in the evening that are going to take your mind off work and going to help you transition back into your home life. So maybe for you that is exercise, going for a walk, maybe it's a hobby, reading a book. It's not always easy because, again, our office and our home are basically the same place now. But wherever possible, try and keep a mental boundary between your work life and your home life. So those are some of my top tips for managing your well-being and dealing with the challenges of working from home. Maybe let us know what you found helpful if you've been doing this for a few months now. Maybe comment below, let us know what you found helpful during this period of time. If at any point you feel like you need some support in managing stress, do consider coming to some of our free online workshops and courses. There'll be a link in the description box below to do that. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in my next video update.